Depth of a modifier. The depth of the modifier typically affects the spread of the light and also the fall off of the light. A very shallow modifier tends to allow the light to just spread everywhere. It covers a much larger area. The light hits everywhere and everything because there's nothing narrowing its spread. When the light is deeper, like a deep octo or a deep umbrella, the light has more of a focused trajectory and basically it's just not going to spread out as much. I think of it like a bucket of water. If I take a shallow flat pan and I toss it at my subject, that water instantly spreads out everywhere, it covers everything. But if I take a deep bucket and then throw it at my subject, the water holds the shape of the bucket. It stays more focused, it stays more directional. Now, one other side effect of a deep modifier is that it appears to have a more dramatic fall off of light. Typically, because the light's more focused, less of it's going to reach the background. It stays tighter around your subject. I love this because it gives you more control to feather the light. It gives you control over where the light is falling in the scene. So in short, a deeper modifier usually means that you have more control and there won't be quite as wide of a spread of light. So let's take a look at this in action because this may change the type of umbrella or the reflector of the softbox that you're going to choose in the future. Comparing modifiers. So now it's time to let the gear nerd in me really shine and talk about modifiers. Modifiers of all sorts, all shapes, and all sizes. And let me begin by saying, before I jump into this all excited, that you don't need 10 different light modifiers. In truth, you probably only need a couple. Listen, I'm a big gear nerd and I've been collecting gear for more than a decade. And I would say I still regularly use the same 4 or 5 modifiers over and over again. And honestly, that's probably pretty excessive for most people. The more you shoot and the more you develop your lighting style, you're going to figure out the exact modifiers that you need to achieve your lighting goals. Most photographers eventually develop a look, and this look allows them to use the same modifiers over and over again. And furthermore, one of the things I realize is that there are a lot of modifiers that look really similar to others if they're used correctly. So if you know how to use them right, you don't need to own many different modifiers, but we're going to talk about that later. For now, let's start exploring the exciting, nerdy, and wonderful world of light modifiers. I'll cover soft modifiers, hard modifiers, and everything in between. So now, let's go take a look.